What's up, y'all? Thank you for checking in with
Lord
Peachy
knows
and
you could have been
T.
anywhere.
We're about to get started, and we're gonna check in and
We
talk about
definitely
all the
checking
different
in.
things that's happened to us throughout the
Fam, my
week.
shit's been
We're gonna
hectic.
get into some breaking news,
You know I hate
music,
talking
and
about them
more.
Negroes.
So continue to watch. Also
Don't just stare
share,
at me,
like
sis. Bro, you can
everything
share
Peach
too.
ENT. Let's get into it.
Happy Saturday. As usual, I check in uh on this Saturday every, what is it, 12 noon, but I am running a little bit late. I've been having a whole lot of meetings going on, so excuse me if I don't sound like I'm just so upbeat because I am extremely tired. I've been meeting with people since 9 a.m., trying to pull together all my business ventures, trying to reorganize the check-in brand. I just been having so much ish going on this morning. This week in general has just been a hot damn mess. But as usual, like I said, I'm committed. Excuse me, I am committed to popping up at 12 noon to chat with you guys, regardless as to what's going on. So even if it's 12 p.m. ish, I am here. So before I get started on my mission or moral or my personal statement for the day, whatever you want to call it, um, which is check your perception, because perception is a big deal. You know, it's how we view the world, it's how we're judging people, it's how people are judging us. And sometimes our perception can be a little bit off. But before I begin, I want to play a clip that I found very interesting. As you know, I am a Cancer, and we navigate the world a little bit different than other signs, and sometimes we are misjudged a lot as crybabies. Everything is dismissed as we are being a certain way because we're emotional, or dismissed as we are crybabies, or dismissed as we are a number of other things instead of it being just what it is. We actually um am tapped in, or are tapped in with ourselves. And this is the experience we are having with you, and we would like to address you. And a lot of times it comes off as, again, us being petty or an emotional person, when really we're just checking in to say, hey sis, hey bro, we not liking this experience. And we don't mind you doing that with us, but it seems to be an issue when we check in with you. But let me play this clip that I thought was super dope about myself and other Cancers. That's self-explanatory for anyone that's within our life, or navigating and circling around, peering in to become a part of our life. But you know, this is a great video. Let me play it, and then I'm gonna get into, like I said, my moral of the day, checking your perception. Um, yeah, let's get it, y'all. Let's get it.
Is that they have some of the highest commitment level, right? Even though they change their mind a lot, understand there's some deep shit with Cancers. Understand this. Like, no one ever explained Cancers like this. So, even though that Cancers do change their mind, right? A lot, depending on their mood, or the season they in, or temptation, or the moment. Like, moments happen. Cancers look at life through moments, through lens, like individual pictures that lead to a role, a capsule, right? A timeline. But what y'all don't realize is that even though they change their mind, right? They never change their heart. They never change their love for something, right? They never change their spirit for something. They never change that enthusiasm and passion and purpose and love for something, right? Even though they change how they love it, they change how they think about it. They change what they think about it, but they never change that complete love that was built in the first place. So if a cancer does not love you no more, if a cancer does not fuck with you no more, you did that. Because all they know is loyalty. All they know is strength. All they know is purpose. All they know is longevity, right? Cancers hate betrayal. Cancers can't deal with fake people, right? Cancers can't deal with unethical, unmoral, ludicrous ass people. No offense to Ludacris. I love Ludacris. It's the red light district. Hey, hey. But regardless of that, cancers love Ludacris too, by the way. Like, cancers love hip hop music. They'll go from boom, 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 boom to you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy. But it's the thing. Let me get back to the point, bro. When you play with a cancer, cancers are petty though. They gonna let you fuck up with a cancer. They gonna remind themselves. They gonna let karma handle it, but then they gonna let you know, motherfucker, you fucked up. And they get that out of entertainment. Cancers love entertainment. Cancers love to laugh, right? But because they be so serious all the time, is that they be need time to laugh and be with people. So cancers love to have fun. Cancer attract all the attention, right? But nevertheless to say, they heart never gonna change when they truly love you, bruh. And that's, to me, the best thing about a cancer, is because when you get involved with them, you know you straight, you know you good, you know you great, you care for, you taken care of. But there's a time that cancers have given that love out so much, they've learned that no one else deserves this type of love. I can't be giving this love out. I got to give this love to me now, right? And anybody how I love y'all, I'ma love me, because I can't quit on myself, because cancer been through shit, but cancer gonna keep going, man.
Dope, dope, dope. And it's so ironic that I woke up with these thoughts of how I can change my perception to where it's suiting me and I'm feeling comfortable and respected and loved in that space. And then to just wake up and go on my Instagram and I'm like, yo, this dude Ryan, he is actually verbalizing exactly how I feel in the moment. It's like, yo, I love the world. I love being, you know, the loving person. I love spreading love. I love love. But guess what? I got the love on me first. I got the love on me too. I got to look after me too. So that's, what I'm on today. So today I'm going to talk about checking in to your perceptions, looking into how you perceive things, right? Because this has been a wild week. And as usual, on Saturdays, we talk about my week. And if you're watching, feel free, to jump in the comments and share yours. So this week has been very hectic. I'm not sure what the moon is in. I should have looked that up because I'm sure this moon is probably in some type of air or a fire sign. What is the moon in this week? But whatever it is, my people have been shifting all over the place, and for pretty much I kind of remain consistent on how I feel and who I am. Again, I like to walk in love and peace. But then other people, when they're shifted, they come at me because I guess that love and peace disturbs them, and it causes friction inside of them. So it's like, okay, let's attack Peach because, oh, this girl is just happy go lucky, and it's irritating my soul because I'm not happy go lucky. Or they could just be really feeling some kind of way, I don't know. But either way, how I came up to talking about perception is because this week, someone that I encounter on a daily basis, which is one episode, decided to come at me in a fucked up manner, all because I asked one simple question. you know how are you feeling? I thought you were still in the hospital. And it erupted into a whole tirade of, there is a whole bunch of conversations going on and you're a part of it, and yep, 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 yep. And I'm like, well, god damn, All I said was, how are you doing? I see you out the hospital. It's great to see you. Something so simple, something so compassionate and loving, and it turned very ugly. So I had to sit down because I don't like unnecessary conflict because for me, it starts to look like either two things. The person is unstable or they mindset about me is has shifted or it's off. It's off some type of way. And so when I examined it and I asked a few questions of that party, I realized it's not a mental illness. It's just a shift in perception. And so from that little window of me saying those things, this person took the time to perceive that I'm gathering information about them and I'm being malicious. When really the information that I'm asking is something that I got from someone close to them and from them themselves because they're suffering a condition. I was just genuinely concerned because that's just who I am. And so that kind of, I'm like, yo, that's just kind of crazy. And I'm not here for that. And so in that moment, because of the misconception that person had of me, it changed the whole dynamic of how I can actually deal with the person. And so that's how I got to this topic of talking about freaking perception. This is why this is my mission of the week, my view of the week. And another encounter that I had, you know, to which this is someone much more closer to me that I didn't personally care for, but it's okay. We actually talked about it. Is you know what? I'm going to generalize it. Let me just generalize it. That way, it doesn't seem as if I'm attacking anyone because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm just here to share my experience for people that will that's watching now and will watch later. I'm going to say this. Sometimes in life, we've had so many encounters with so many of the same people. When someone else has a roadmap of behaviors that's familiar to you, you tend to assume it's going to be the same result. So, for example, if you meet someone that talks to you every morning, right? And then one day they decide not to talk to you every morning, and let's say like 10 other people has done that to you, then you're going to assume that person is behaving like those 10 other people when that could very well not be the case. It could be that person having their own individualized experience, and then you're using your perception and creating misconceptions about that person. And this week, I've had that happen to me again with the person that I just discussed and a couple people within my personal life. And I don't like that because me, I move a little bit different than most people. My perception of the world is a little bit different than most people. So you can't really judge me based off of a generalized female handbook because most of the time I don't go by that. The way that I'm built is different. I don't carry some of the thoughts that most females have. And if you know me personally, you'll start to realize, nah, Peach is a little different. The way she thinks, the way she moves is different. So to try to generalize me is a little bit hard. So this week I had someone assume that I was taking on an emotion which wasn't my experience at all. My experience was something totally different. And I've actually had that person come at me because of said experience. And they were totally wrong. And I'm unsure if they were surprised to find out that they were wrong about me. That wasn't my experience with them. But I do know for sure they never apologized for it. And it's okay. Because again, I can't expect people to be me. Um, a lot of times I like to check in with myself, and I've learned over the years through doing so that sometimes things just aren't what we think that they are. And it's more important to ask that person, hey, what is it that you're experiencing with me? So that to allow space for that person to actually explain. I have been received, misreceived by multiple people throughout my life because I don't think the way they assume that I do. I'll give you an example. Um, I was dating someone and they were asked to make plans. They were asked to attend a party that was a couple's party. And the person decided that they were going to RSVP me and them. And it turned into a whole big to do thing. And the person thought that my reasoning behind me getting upset for RSVPing both of us for this event was because I didn't like the person. And some people that found out about the situation thought it was because I was jealous of the person whose event that it was, which neither one was my experience. I mean, I could understand why they gathered that, based off of their own personal encounters with other people, but that wasn't my personal experience. My personal experience for me was, very simple. You disrespected me. Why? Well, because if you had taken the time to get to know me, then you would understand that I don't like people making decisions for me. I don't like people deciding how I'm going to personally move and what I'm going to do. I have always been like that. So imagine all the ruckus and the disagreements that stem from that situation, all because the person that decided to RSVP me uh didn't want to take the time to figure out what was the real reason. And so I have been estranged from a core set of people, a group of people due to that situation. And these people don't particularly care for me. And it had absolutely nothing to do with them. It's just the way that they perceive me. And I find that to be very unfair, but at halfway 100, that doesn't even matter at this point because we get at some point we get too old to be trying to mend too many things or heal friendships. You kind of just moved on because you got your core set of friends and then you're just good. But imagine had that not happened, we don't know what could have came from those friendships, what opportunities we could have fostered, um the things that we could have achieved because we were all like-minded business people, but no one understood my position or tried to understand my position. So we got to be kind of mindful, very mindful when we're, addressing people and when we're approaching people and assuming. Stop assuming people's experience with you. Ask, 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 ask. And again, we all are human. We all make mistakes. And every now and then I have to check in with myself to say, no, this may not be that person experience with me. And I too have to sit down and remember that that's not fair. That's unfair judgment just because of, past experiences or past trauma. So, perception. Stop thinking that the experiences people are having with you are what you're equal up to your past experiences, is basically what I'm trying to say. Do I have another example of that? Because I have done that in the past myself. Um, oh, I was actually talking to someone, and they will always be available at night to speak to me, right? They will always be available at night. When I would try to reach out to them during the day, they could never answer the phone. Now, my past experience says, oh, they're not available during the day because what would you think? Most women would probably think, oh, they can't talk to me during the day because they're with their family or they with their children. Or they could talk to me at night because everybody's asleep or they got a night job where they're away. But come to find out, I was misjudging that person. That person worked at night and slept during the day. So, had I not, opened up the floor for conversation to find out what was going on, I wouldn't have known. What if I would have addressed that person in an argumentative way? Like, yo, listen. I would look like a fool. Because again, the experience I'm having is not the same one that they are having with me, and it's ridiculous. And again, halfway 100, you got to be able to have these conversations. Another experience that I had. Let me try to think of something else. Oh, a recent one. I thought a person just genuinely didn't like me, right? Because every time I would see the person would look at me and stare at me, but they would never speak. And when I would look up at them, I'm like, why the hell are they looking at me? They would look away. And I'm like, something wrong with them. This person either believe that I'm someone else or they feel a kind of way about me, right? And this went on for a period of 3 years. Me and this person is back and forth. The person staring at me, never speaking, never nothing, and I'm thinking this person is a jackass, an asshole, or whatever, just to find out that that person actually never spoke or never did because they were a shy person and they didn't know how to approach me. See, the two different experience. They're shy, didn't know how to approach me, but me, my experience is this person is being funny. They're staring at me. What the fuck are they looking at? What are they expecting to happen? Coming up with all these different scenarios when really truly that was not even the case. So again, we can destroy possible great relationships with people by allowing our perceptions of how they're moving to get in the way. And that is not cool. To live, hey, how you doing? Say, wow, you never even say you're going live. Greetings and salutations. May this day be in service. Oh no, I go live every Saturday to live at 12:30. I'm just talking, in general. It's not even a whole show. It's just me checking in and just sharing what's going on with me during a week. I see people staring, but nobody's really saying anything. If you in the bushes, just say hello. It ain't gonna kill you. And Anything I say here is not to be malicious. It's just to be frank and to have conversations with people, including myself. But since Talib just popped in and I see a few more people tuning in, I am talking about perceptions. How my week has been full of people having misconceptions about me, and it's been creating uncomfortable experiences because of their false perceptions. Uh Again, this week I had someone that I said one thing to them. I said, listen, I saw them outside and I said, hey, how are you doing? I thought you were in the hospital. And that turned into a whole tirade about people are talking about me. There's a lot of conversation going on in that house. What is going on? I don't like that. That's against my religion to talk about people. And I'm like, well, hold on. Ain't nobody talking about you. I simply haven't seen you out here. And I asked your brother if you were okay. And the brother told me the situation. And the brother kept giving me follow-ups, So I see you out here today. And I'm like, well, how you doing? Are you all right? Thought you were in the hospital. And see, because of that little encounter, I no longer look at that person the same. Because you allow your perception to misjudge me, turn me into something that I truly am not. I come to you in peace, joy, and laughter, and you coming to me with something a whole lot different. Talib said, sounds like they have a lot going on. They wasn't able to express it in a healthy way. Yeah, maybe so, Talib, but the thing is, you got to be mindful. We are adults. You got to be mindful of who you directing that energy towards, because you can be very destructive. And again, I was sharing with the people that's watching, how I've personally had, you know, misjudged people and destroyed relationships because I thought their behaviors added up to that I thought their behaviors mimic people that I knew from my past, when simply it was just their behaviors and me misreading. It was my misconception of the person, and we have to stop. And I am the victim of that a lot. I'm the victim of that a lot because, again, I truly do not view the world through the lens of most people. And like I said at the top of the show, a lot of times with me, when it comes to men, men misjudge me a lot, because they believe that I have the traditional thinking of most of the women that they've dealt with, but that is not my experience. My experience is more centered into my accomplishments, my family, and then my relationships. And I'm not concerned about trying to hold on to relationships at the expense of any of the two that I mentioned previously. I'm just not. That's just not who I am. Talib said, we have to be mindful about how we respond to energy that's being directed at us. You are applying what is called counter transference. Okay. So if that is the technical term for it, then counter transference. But yeah, we have to be very, very mindful, very, very mindful of how we treat people. Um, and take a moment. I know how I broke out of it is when I am experiencing anything with somebody and it looks like something else. I don't even, once I get to that point, I just stop and be like, listen, mind that can't probably not even the case. Just have the conversation with the person and find out what's exactly going on with them. And you'll know if they're being honest or if they're being dishonest. and you'll have your answer and leave it at that. But to just fly off the handle because you believe a person is having an experience with you that they're not, then it's just truly crazy. I explained earlier again, I was seeing somebody and they were working. I could only speak to them during the night, but I could never reach them during the day. Now, again, most people will believe, oh, God, he has a family. He has this, they're doing that. But in the end, when I had the conversation, I figured out that they were working they worked during the freaking night and they slept during the day. And during the day, of course, they're not sleeping the entire day, but they had to handle whatever it is in preparation for them to work and live. And I'm not supplying any of those services for that person. So how am I feeling a way about them or saying, oh, this person is just a cheater and they're this and they're that. And so I'm going to come at them from that perspective. It's crazy. It's crazy. But if you were watching, I'll drop the link in the chat. If anybody want to come up and expound or just have anything to say about perceptions, I will. I'm not going to be on here a long time. Again, I just check in every Saturday, and this is probably not one of my best ones because I'm not laughing myself to death, but it's okay. I'm human. I'm allowed to, cultivate a space for venting if I want. But, we have to stop as a people. We have to truly, truly stop and strip away all of that. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat. And then I'll probably be getting off here around maybe 1:20, 1:30 because I still have to resolve the leak situation. If you was here last Saturday, then you know about that. That's something I still have to deal with. And to have to encounter all this other foolishness is just tripling was already on my plate. And again, I'm the type that I will put it all in order and I will throw out what's worth keeping and keep and handle the rest. Link is in the chat. But yeah, perceptions. What are your thoughts? Just, share your experience. Do you feel that you do that? Do you think you need to get better? Do you think, you have to rethink some stuff? Because yeah, messing with me, I'll have you rethinking a whole lot of things because you'll have me all screwed up. You'll be guessing like, yo, she's jealous of me. No, I'm really not. I'm just mad because you did this and I didn't appreciate it because it's not a cooperative space for me. I don't like people determining shit for me. Has nothing to do with jealousy, has nothing to do with any of the things. Be very surprised. Take the time to learn people, take the time to talk to them. Now the link is in the chat. While I have everyone here as usual, I have the check-in blog inside of my mobile app. If you want to share your experience, check in, let me know what's going on in your life. And if it's something good, then maybe I could potentially talk about it. Also on the bottom is the R Report magazine. I am a writer. Um, I also stream with the R Report. The check-in. It's not just a show, it's a radio show. It's placed in front of millions of people on a Sunday at 12 p.m. I think it is. Yes, it's 12 to 2. And people get the opportunity to listen to the check-in. So if you call in, I want you to know that you're on the radio. So smile, sound happy, sound joyous, bring your best foot forward because you have millions of people listening to you. And as usual, below me, you see it says, how was your week? I just shared my week. My week was a little bit confrontational. Everybody just in confrontation. Yet I don't know what the moon was this week, but everybody has been going in. I'm like, yo, what is going on? Why is everybody just going the hell in? Jeez. Is it something that I'm missing out on? Is it did I miss the Kool-Aid train that's making everybody snap? What is it? What the hell is it? And also on the side of me is the QR code for my mobile app. So if you just put your phone up, scan it, pop onto the mobile app, read some of the articles. I am a little bit behind. This has been a very busy week for me. Um, Week after Easter, I have a grandchild. I don't know about everybody else, but that's when my grand boo come and visit me, and I gotta do my little grandmom thing, play and talk. And my family, one thing I love about us, the same way I get on here and I build with you guys and we talk about our experiences and how to best handle things, my family and I always have builds. And it's amazing. On Easter, we actually had an Easter build and we talked about uh why we truly aren't celebrating and things that we could do different moving forward for my granddaughter. And we also talked about having a relationship with the ancestors and stuff like that. We talked about everyone's ability because in my family, each of us has a different ability, spiritually. So we talked about that. We talked about what we seen. We talked about astral projection. We talked about so much stuff on Easter. It was awesome. I had a really, really amazing time. And then I got off and I actually streamed the check-in with Maybach. So that was, cool. So it's been a pretty, in between the crazy, the misconceptions. Um, I did have some bright light, love, and happiness going on. Uh So, why everyone is here, if you're listening now, you're listening later, the check-in will be restructured. It will be some changes. The changes will be announced sometime this week. I will personally get on this screen and let you guys know what the changes are, what it's going to look like going forward in the future, and other ways that you can actually tap in with me and talk. Okay. Hey, Talib, you coming up? Hey, Talib,
Hello,
how are you doing on this Saturday?
I am magnanimous.
As usual.
Yeah, I was listening. I didn't know you had a show today. I would have jumped in. Well, I did jump in. See, I would like that. When you had a show, I gotta jump in and at least you leave a thumbs up and a comment, right? Got to get in
Right.
there and show the support.
Right.
You don't unless you don't want the support.
No, I love support.
So you was talking about perceptions.
Yes.
I
Yes,
didn't
I
catch the
was.
beginning of the show, but so I wasn't. I was getting filled in.
Yeah, I was just basically talking about, people, we all have these generalizations. We think because of the way people showed up for us in our life that when someone has similar patterns, they're showing up the same way. And that could not be that could be far from the truth. It could look similar, but it could be different reasoning behind it. And you
Well, that's
just confronted somebody for no damn reason when that's wasn't even the case.
well when people do things like that, it's like a lot of times it's because they're going through something, you know, and they don't know how to express it. And it becomes an opportunity for them to vent out the emotion that they're experiencing. Um,
Mm,
you know? So sometimes when people overreact on me, I sort of step back and slow down and and I just get quiet for a second and give them an opportunity to sometimes to see what they're doing. 'Cause sometimes people just react to the emotion before defining it,
Mm, I
or
agree.
they react to the definition of the word they given the emotion, right? I'm angry. In Ireland, they don't say I'm angry, right? They say things like I have feelings of anger.
Never knew that.
hmm There's an association, disassociation that happens when you say I am something. Because you're not like angry. You're not angry. You are not anger itself, right?
Right.
You're having feelings of anger.
True.
And when you do that, then you can sort of step back and realize that maybe, I am not the situation that I'm in, right? Whatever's going on, this person is doing this based on something in their life. And then from there, if they're going too hard, I can establish a healthy boundary. Look, it's clear that something's bothering you. I'm not sure what it is. I'm going to remove myself from it.
Mm, yeah.
Stop trying to think outside of the box and start realizing there is no box.
Mm. Said
And
stop thinking outside the box because there is no box.
ah, and I know some people out there that's like a tongue twister in their brain right now. It's like, what? Oh, yeah, a box is a shape, and we give things shape because what is shape? It's meaning.
Mm,
Yeah, and generalizing something we all do anyway. We have to do that in order we'd be mad, completely insane. You wouldn't be able to have a normal conversation with one single human being on Earth. Their world would constantly be flipping. Nothing would be consistent, and they wouldn't be consistent. Generalization is very important for our experience as living beings. But at the same time, when it becomes the dominant force in our mental activity, that's when it becomes something that is unhealthy.
mm. Well, I've been experiencing people where it's the dominant force in their life. You have these set of behaviors. That means this. No, it doesn't mean that. This is my experience. This is what it means for me.
Right. It's your experience. So at some point, you should ask yourself, too, why am I running into these people? What's going on with me?
Saving the world, being kind.
Well, if you feel like you have to save the world, then you also feel like people are broken. You can't save something that doesn't need to be saved. Some of this is like you mentioned something about the moon cycle. Yeah, we had a nice little planetary alignment. I think it was going into Aries or the
Ah,
moon and stuff like that. And they were saying that a lot of things that was in people's lives right now was going to come to a head. That old things would be cleared out, right? And making room for new things. It's supposed to be a special moon cycle coming into Aries, and when it goes into this section of the cycle, uh, more positive outcomes are supposed to start happening for people. But this part was like letting all that negative vent out.
mm.
So A lot of people could just be going through, we are heavily connected to the moon. It has an effect on our emotions, on our feelings, on our thoughts.
Mm,
It has because it has an effect. It has a visible effect on the planet, right?
true.
The moon, right? Where do the ocean's tides come from? From the moon. The moon cycles affects the water.
Well, I need everybody to get their moon cycles together and leave me alone.
Well, are they coming to find you, Miss Peach,
Listen,
or
I'm
are
just
you running into them?
I'm just encountering these people. I'm like, all I'm saying is how you doing, and boom, I'm like, oh shoot, what in the
Or
world?
yeah, I had some of that this week too. No, I did. I had some of that this week. I was in a class this week, and one of the professors was, I don't know, just being real strange,
Oh my god.
I had answered one of the questions, and the rest of the class thought it was an excellent answer I gave. And they gave a very profound statement to me. Instead of telling me I was wrong, right? That's what a teacher would do, right? That's a wrong answer, right? The teacher said, I don't agree with that. Like I was a colleague.
Oh, negotiate. Like, I don't agree with that. What?
I don't agree. What do you mean? Wait. You're the teacher.
It's either is or it isn't.
Thank you. Oh, obviously I was right. You just didn't like it. You know what I mean? Somebody was like, "Why don't you just answer the fucking question?" And the teacher's like, "Who said that? Who said that?" I'm like, "Oh my god, bro, this has gone back to high school. What is happening here?"
It sounds like a maybe types to me in my mind. I don't agree with that. Well, then it's sort of right, and I don't know.
I
When people
didn't
say that to
even.
me,
Well, people saying it to you and a teacher in a class saying it is two different things.
we
You
sort
know what
of
I mean?
think.
I could see if I was in a philosophy class, but I wasn't. I was in a psych class. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So obviously, I know what I'm talking about. So they could say that, but the point is that that was a really strange. And you know what? That was the first encounter since I started this particular course that I've even had such an experience. It was bizarre to me,
mm.
But I laughed it off at the end because I'm like, wow, but yeah. So it's not just you. There's, like I said, there's some energy out there that was really on fuego this week. People was very mentally exhausted and overwhelmed. You could tell by their behaviors and how they would just sort of lash out at other people about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not alone. It's not just you. It's the moon. Let's blame it on the moon.
It's something because these experiences I'm like, what? And even people I have relationships with have been misjudging me. And I'm like, what? That don't even sound like me. That's just not even how my brain thinks. Are you paying attention to me as a person? How did you come to that conclusion?
That sounds personal.
And I'm like, that's your perception. It's just perceptions. I'm like, this is just crazy because I don't whatever, I judge people based off of them. I don't generalize things when it comes to people. Like I could never like I'm talking to you. If you say something to me, I could pretty much judge, okay, yeah, to live This is to live, but
You're
I'm not gonna go through
generalizing
that.
now, though. You're saying people. We all generalize. There's three things we do to maintain our perception of reality. Okay, we distort, we delete, and we generalize. That's anybody can go look that up. That's a fact. That's what we do. And sometimes we have a tendency to we all generalize. Like when you say people, you can't say people like all people do that. You haven't encountered all people,
That's true.
right? You haven't even encountered all cultures that exist.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm saying people without saying
That's a
names.
generalization, though. You see my point?
Yes, that's true. Without saying names. But
It's not that you're not doing anything wrong. You're 100% correct in what you're doing. We all generalize. Everyone does it. The point is to just when you become aware of that, then you can realize when you're generalizing something that may not be general, right? And when you're generalizing something that is,
that makes sense.
because as the moon has affected other people you're experiencing, what effect is it having on you? Maybe the effect that's having on you is that you're running into these people, causing you to become, feel and vent from within because of that. Look at what those people had you looking at. They had you looking at other things in your life as well, right? So maybe the moon cycle is doing something for all of us right now we need, which is clearing out our minds, letting go of things that is no longer of service to us, realizing that maybe there's some things in ourselves we need to change so that we can receive that next level thing we're looking for.
That is true, because that's exactly what I did last night. I took me a nice clear ride and cleared my mind of the week and said, how could I be in service of myself? What could I improve in my own personal life, my own personal experience that's going to get me to where I need to go? Because that's just who I am in general. Me. It's who I am.
And this time you see, this moon cycle gave us all a reflection to look at some things, look at what we've been doing, how we've been going about it, what may need to change, some of the people that may be in our life that may need to be addressed or removed or whatever, right? But whatever it is, it's a clearing right now. And I say ride the wave.
So why have you on here? I want to share with people without, sharing exactly how our wonderful conversation and how I walked away feeling great, and how people should actually reach out to you if they want to walk away feeling how I felt last week. You helped me to understand some things. You even pinpointed, who I was as a person. What did you say? I was some people are physicals. I'm a, what is it? An
And
emo?
some, yeah, there you go. Emotional. People who think from within. You got people that experience the world with their body, and then you got people that experience the world from within their thoughts and their feelings and their internal world. And that's what the confusion in relationships is coming in. When and my goal is to get out here and teach people a new way of looking at relationships, so maybe it will help get out of this thinking that it's all men, it's all women. Oh, women they do this, women do that. It's not women. You want to start thinking like physicals do this, emotionals do this, do that. This is when you start looking at and then understanding that this is not a problem. But when you understand how each person thinks and how they process the world, then you can interact with them better.
Right.
Right? They're not super expressive people. They express love financially. They express love through support. right? Physicals don't care about that other stuff. They express love through being there, through physical touch. An emo's number one priority is their career. A physical's number one priority is relationships. When you begin to understand that, then you could see why, oh, the guy you may be with, oh, he doesn't do this. He's always hugging on me. He's a physical. He doesn't care about, and once a physical get, and they feel they love you and you love them, they're going to stop dressing up. They're going to stop doing certain things because in their mind, it doesn't mean anything like that because the love is there. Emotional is like you letting yourself go. What are you doing? They'll feel like you don't care about them.
Now, Talib, how did you being that you figured out I was an emotional, how did you assess that? Like, I know the audience probably like, how does he know she's an emotional? Where did he get that from?
Well, for anyone out there, if you reach out to me, I will get right back to you. I can send you personally a suggestibility test that will let you know what your suggestibility is. And now, when I say suggestibility, I mean how you take information in, how you learn. That's your suggestibility, how you learn. And we learn in one of two ways. We learn either inferentially, and I'm sure all of us some people may have experienced this when they was a child. Where your parent would tell you to do something. Maybe you'd be like, oh, I just need a few minutes, whatever. And they'll be like, it better be done by the time I get back. Or, right? That is an inferential parent. What does the child learn? They learn that what you say isn't always what you mean. That there may be wiggle room. That what you say, you may actually mean something else. So they will always what? Read into what you're saying. Now, a physical person is a literal person. Now, meaning when they grew up, their parents said, do your homework. And guess what they did? They had to do their homework. So how do they take information in? Very literally. And how does this show up in the world? I'll give you an example. A physical person, you tell them, let's say they're at work, you say, oh, hey, Steve, that's a really nice shirt. Physical person goes, thanks, appreciate it, right? Oh, you liked my shirt. Now, inferential, emo at work. Hey, Steve, I like your shirt. Why did he say that? I mean, this ain't even the first time I wore this shirt. What did he mean by that? Like, he never even compliment me. What's going on? Is he about to fire me or something? What is happening?
What's wrong?
Is something wrong here? Because he never does this. That has to mean more than just you like my shirt. You see what I'm saying? And I'm sure the audience can relate. They either knew it themselves or they know people that do that. And when you start understanding that that's how people really get down in their head, then guess what you can do? You can start predicting how they're going to say things, how they're going to behave, how they're going to react. And you can start moving more accordingly. Relationships go bad because people don't understand each other, one. Two, they're constantly, if you come from a dysfunctional family, you may not realize it, but every relationship is a replica of your home life that you're trying to fix. Because your subconscious is trying to work that out. So every relationship you go into will have some key element from that dysfunctional home you're trying to overcome. So remember, if you got some home issues and and the second thing is your shadow. Your shadow is probably shadow and wounded inner child, I would say, the two number one reasons bad relationships happen.
The shadow and wounded child.
Mm-hmm. I can tell you when I know these things because there's language for it. Right? How do you know someone has a wounded inner child? When they say things like this. No one cares about me. I've had to do everything on my own, and I'm okay with that. I don't need anybody. I can do it by myself. I don't need anyone. Oh, I'm very happy alone. This is a wounded inner child. And I could go on. I can go on for like 20 minutes on things people say that just expose that they have a wounded inner child. And a lot of people misunderstand what the shadow work is. The shadow is just there was some aspect of yourself that was shunned when you were a child, and you locked it away. And it developed a negative self-talk about you. You're not good enough. Oh, you're a freak. You're this, you're that. No one's ever going to love you. So you develop another part of yourself that steps in front of that and says, shut up. Just shut the hell up. And that part of
Damn.
yourself, yeah. And that part of yourself now becomes that part of the ego that does what? That stands in front and goes, I have to be better than everyone. No one can see my flaws. Everything that is happening is their fault. It's not mine. Right? And so we go out and do what? We get in relationships to what? To shut that voice up. But it never works. Never works. It never works. So we end up in these relationships. The voice gets to us, and we get out of the relationship. We either go, you're not man, and you never was great, and you're a piece of crap, or you go, it's me, and I can't be in this. I don't want to be here anymore. It's not you, it's me. You know, you understand what I'm saying?
Well, where's
This
the
is all
negotiation in that? That just sounds.
I'm streamlining, but you get the generalization of it.
Yeah, I do. It's
It's funny
but
to hear it that way though, because every time we hear it in another way, like it's justifiable, like it's this reasonable argument, but it isn't. When you hear it like this, then you understand. It becomes sort of clear. These actions we take, we're running from ourselves at the same time trying to fix ourselves. How uncomfortable do you think that is?
I think it's very. It sounds self-sabotaging.
There you go. And what do most people say who've been in a lot of bad relationships when they leave the relationship? I knew it was going to end like this.
Oh, I knew
You,
it wasn't going to be long. This
I knew
wasn't
this.
going to work.
I knew it wasn't going to work. How did you see what I'm saying? Is that not self-sabotage? Does that
Sure.
not tell you at some point in the relationship they started taking actions to assure that the relationship would end, even if they weren't aware of it?
Wow, absolutely.
Right. And then we go watch these videos, and then people tell us, they give you these talking points, and they go, yeah, it's women because women don't respect men. All of them want to go out here and be better than men. And now men are better than women. This is women. It's like, whoa, guy, slow down. Do you understand that no humans would be here without both humans? Like, we are literally genociding ourselves because of this faulty thinking. Right? It is it's a statistical fact that majority of the women who are in the dating world, okay, want the 1% man. Did you know only 5% of men make $100,000? Did you know that? Do you
I thought it
realize
was
the unreal?
1%.
No, sweetheart. No, that's where you start getting into these millionaires. They're the 1%.
Mm,
Majority of the men do not have that status and will never obtain it. It's an unrealistic expectation, right? So all the women are looking for these 1% of men for what? To date? No, what's the ultimate goal of dating? To procreate.
well, you can procreate with the 5%, any
You can,
percent, anybody.
right, but that's not what they've been taught. Remember, no one's working on their mental health. They're not really working on their mental health. And notice I generalized right there. I said no one. I'm showing you that everyone does it. It's okay, it's natural. It only becomes a problem when we start using it to negatively justify our situation or what we think is happening with a person. That's when it becomes an issue because we must deal with that as an individual. Right. And then we can know what's actually going on in the moment. But everything else we're doing, we're what? We're projecting to our future or we're reconstructing our past. And I'm gonna let y'all know the past. You know, when you pull up a memory when you was a kid and you was at your favorite birthday or the first time you had sex, whatever the memory is, there's not a place in your head that memory is sitting. It's not sitting in one place. Your mind reconstructs the memory when you decide to think about it. It pulls it from all over your brain, from everywhere in your brain, to pull it into one. And it fills in gaps because sometimes that information can't be accessed. So the brain makes things up. So your whole past is a reconstruction from where you are now and why you were bringing it up. So I'm going to let you know that most of your memories of the past aren't accurate.
I was about to say they can't be accurate because I
Because
can't
every
see
time
where
you
it
think
would
about
be.
it, you have to put it back together again. And you put it back together a little different each time. Yeah. So stop harping on your past. All you doing is reconstruction memories and making stuff more confused and messed up than it actually was. It didn't happen that way. Even for the person that was in the worst of situations, a lot of that didn't happen exactly the way they remember. Some of it was altered by the mind because you don't have a place in your head where you just keep memories. So this is, and that's why it's very important that before you go to bed at night, when you laying down and sleep, if you had a terrible day or your day had a bunch of stuff you didn't like in it, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to start from the beginning while you're laying there, use your imagination to go back to when you woke up that morning and replay every event till you get up to where the things happen you didn't like and rewrite it. Rewrite it. Watch what happens. Watch how many things start changing for you because your mind don't know the difference. You thinking that there is no past. It's not a place you could actually go back to. And the future is not some place you're going to get to. So you have to slow all the way down, step back. You want to really change? I'm telling you this now. Breathe. Most of you on here, I know this. You don't breathe. You breathe, yeah, you think you breathe, but you never consciously breathe. You don't sit down and just breathe. Take a deep breath and just feel that deep breath go into your body and just feel it leave. And just realize that through everything in your life, all the victories and all of the tragedies and triumphs, you have been breathing. Your heart has been beating. There is a love, there is an ability that is in you that has always been with you. You'll be you will be surprised. When you love your body, it will love you back. Your body is trying to do one thing and one thing only: maintain homeostasis. And that means, and let me give you it to the simplest way possible, to stay the same, whatever you set the bar at. So if you set the bar, you miserable, but you comfortable in that miserable, it's familiar to you, that's your homeostasis. That's right. And you don't do something to get that mind to say, the body and the mind to go, we're not there anymore. I feel great. And this is the new homeostasis. And let it regulate that. Then you just gonna keep running in circles, trying diets that don't work, taking a bunch of health stuff that do nothing. I see so many fat vegetarians, it's unbelievable. How are you more healthy? You're not. We don't realize it, but your subconscious, it doesn't view joy and happiness the way you do. It doesn't. Familiar, is it what you think it is consciously to the unconscious mind? That's not how that works. Familiar to the unconscious mind is a good thing. That's good. If you had a positive reaction or did something, if you got into an argument or a fight and you ran in your room and you sat there and you put some music on and that made you feel better, guess what? That's the new familiar. If you wonder why you get in a relationship and then it goes bad or anything go bad, why you like to go sit alone and listen to music? That's your familiar. You know what's pain to the unconscious mind? The unknown. So that means doing something better to change your life, to make it better. That could cause pain because it's unknown.
Mm. But then
So
I
what
be
does the
causing
mind do?
pain all the time then, because I always like to go into the unknown.
If that's your familiar, you understand? Now,
Mhm.
if you did the opposite of that, guess what? That would be painful to your mind, meaning it would not accept that because it's unknown. We don't know what down that road. We don't know what comes next. Your body is always trying to figure out what's come next. You literally have a whole portion of your sleep where you're going into a precognitive state and you are just trying to figure out what's going to happen the next day. You're running scenarios. That's how your mind works. So you have to do certain things to communicate to the unconscious mind that it's safe, that this is okay. It's like work. Think about it like this: homeostasis. We'll just go straight to the body for a second. If you've ever worked out before or started working out, here's an example. Your homeostasis was, I like to eat cakes, sit on my ass, smoke me some weed, and watch movies, right? Now you
Mhm.
like, this is not working. I'm ready to be in shape, be healthy, right? I want to feel better. I want to get out. So now you get up and you go to the gym, you start working out. First thing that happens after a few reps, your body starts what? Hurting. There's your first pain, right? This is oh no, we can't. We have to save and hold on to this sugar, bro. What are you doing? That's what the body's saying. Why are you doing this? Now you working out, you sweating extra hard. Now all of a sudden, oh God, it's uncomfortable. You're breathing heavy. Now you go home, your first day, and your mind says, that was terrible. I hate this. What do you mean? This was only day one, and I have to do this. What? I'm going to do this for the rest of my life? This is crazy. I should just eat a cake. Now, if you don't listen, you'll push through. You go back in the gym. What happens? Your body is sore as hell. The next day, it's like, no, we're not doing nothing, right? It's fighting for that homeostasis. You get up anyway, sore, aching, and pain. Go to the gym. You push through. What happens? A couple of days after that, your body says, oh, wait, you're serious. It's time. We're doing this. This is real. You mean it. Okay. All of a sudden, you got more energy. You start noticing at night you're sleeping, but you're sweating your ass off. You wake up, burnt off 3 pounds in your sleep. Right? Because the body got the message, right? And said, oh, this is our new homeostasis. Now the body goes, this is where we stay at. And your state is there. And which means if your state is there, that affects your behavior. And your behavior affects what you do. So stop trying to change your life by what you do, because what you do didn't come from what you do. It came from what you felt about what you were thinking. And if you change how you feel about it, you'll change your behavior, which will automatically change what you do. They don't make any money teaching you this stuff the way I'm showing you right now. The money is made in teaching you it in reverse, because then you have to come back. You do it this way, well, then you'll just be doing whatever you want. And it's easy. If you start using you use your imagination all the time. For all the terrible things that's happening to you right now, you imagine it all the time. All you people do about is how horrible everyone else is, how insufficient and capable, how stupid, how horrible the world is, how terrible the government is, how all these people are out to get you. And then you expect to get out here and be successful? You have programmed your mind to bring you the worst experiences through your imagination, because your subconscious thinks in symbols and signs. That's how it communicates. That's why dreams are so bizarre. Stop looking at your dreams as literal interpretations and start writing.
Did Talib freeze?
I don't know. Did I freeze?
Yeah, I hear you now. I'm like, did you freeze?
Yeah, I'm saying, if you want to understand your dreams better, stop looking at them literally and start understanding that your brain thinks in symbols and images and signs. Okay. So if you have a dream and say it's about a person, what you want to do is when you get up, you're going to write this dream down, but you're going to write it down like this into 2 categories. One category is going to be objects. Okay. What was there? And then the other, we're going to write like subject. Okay. So the object, let's say it was a mother, and let's say she was flying around like a cackling witch.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Wearing black. This is what you're going to write on the others. Now, what you're going to also write on that side is, how did that make you feel? What was your feelings when you were in this dream and you saw that? Then you go down to the next thing. If it was a house, you get that information, you get the same thing. And then if it had a bunch of rooms, you write all this stuff down, and then you write down the feelings. And when you do this and you write it all out, you're going to see exactly what that dream was trying to tell you. Right? Because you have 3 phases to your dreams. It's time we learn about our dreams. They ain't teach us nothing. Dreams this is the important stuff. Your dream time is how you vent out all the stuff that don't serve you anymore. How do you think that stuff leaves the subconscious mind? Through dreams. That the dreams show us when we're done with something, when we need to deal with something, when we're facing something, and sometimes how to get past something. Right? So dreams are very important. Right? And there's 3 phases to your dream sleep at night. Your first phase is your wishful thinking. That's where I want to be a millionaire. I want this. Second phase, this is called the precognitive part of your sleeping. This is crucial because let's say you got some issue at work, or like I said, Steve said you had a nice shirt. So, whatever. You're running that in your mind now. What's going to happen? How can that play out? What are the different things you may be able to do, or what are they going to do? And then that last part of your dream, which is the early morning dream. And this is the one we usually wake up like, oh my God, I have a dream about such and such. This is called the venting dream. These dreams is how our subconscious moves on and let go and helps us elevate and get to that next level. It's very, very important. And in my practice, I offer dream therapy, where I get your subconscious mind to begin to release what's no longer serving you anymore through a series of vivid dreams, vivid, vibrant dreams that will infallibly stick with you. And it's very important. You wake up, you're going to remember them, you write it down, and you begin to analyze those things. Because you'll see that when you have these venting dreams, sometimes people wake up and cry, and then they feel lighter. Realizations start hitting them like one after the other. Because once the mind can let go of those certain stories it's holding on to, you're going to see that there's other things going on inside your head beyond whatever problem you think is existing right now. You just aren't allowing yourself to see past it because you're in a box that doesn't exist. You can never solve a problem with the same mind that created it. Albert Einstein. But I'll shut up now.
No, that was good. Now I'm wondering, for all the people that have the sex dreams right before they wake up, what the hell does it mean? They just wanting sex? That's
Well,
funny.
I wouldn't be able to. Some people will sit there and tell you, and this is what that means. No, I can't tell you what that means for that individual, right? Because for each person, dreams and the symbols in their mind mean a different thing. You see what I'm saying? Everybody is going to have a different experience with it. No 2 people will have the same experience. You see what I'm saying? So if I had a sex dream waking up, and then let's say Toya and you and Maybach, y'all had sex dreams in the morning, it wouldn't be no relation. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it would be no correlation to why we each had a sex dream in the morning. You're saying, because my mind would be giving it to me for one reason. Could be because I'm in that cycle, right? You have a sexual cycle. You ever wonder? No one ever taught us this. You don't always walk around just horny. Sometimes all of a sudden it's like you get more horny. Like, man, I just really would like to have sex. And other times you don't really care. That's because you have a cycle. Everybody has their own cycle. And when you understand it and learn it, then wow, you can stop being led around by your private parts. That's what happens when you're unaware of. Look, you get triggered because you're having a countertransference moment. That's why anyone gets triggered. Someone did something that reminded you of someone else, and you attached it to them. You projected it onto them. They have a total separate reason for what they did. and why they
Right.
did what they did. You see what I'm saying? That's not why they did it. You actually projected that onto them.
Right. Which
We
happens to
all
me
do
all
it.
the time.
Yeah, look, I do it myself, right? I have things that are triggering for me at times, but I learned this. Triggers are yours. It's not someone else's responsibility to not trigger you. It's your responsibility to not be triggered.
Right. Right. I just wonder why people had these experiences with me though. Like what in the hell is going on?
Well, I think your personality has a tendency to bring other people's parts of and aspects of them out of them that aren't usually expressed.
Mm. Oh, so
And
that's
for
an
some
ego
people, that
thing.
could be right. So some people that could be what off-putting for them. Not your problem, right?
Right.
You understand?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Mm,
But I've also learned that culture plays a major role in everything. And as a black person, our culture can be very, very rude and very, very, without understanding it, aggressive as well as passive aggressive.
I agree.
And sometimes how we communicate with each other can be off-putting because we act like we're helping when we're not. You know how people will be like, I'm just being honest with you, but they just said it in a real nasty way, real hurtful way. No, I'm being honest. I'm just telling you the truth. No, they're not. They're not telling you the truth. Right? They're using it as an opportunity to humiliate and also bolster their own ego. It's a manipulative tactic, you know. So when and so understanding that, I began to understand that a lot of cultures have a lot of different ways that we may consider to be rude, right? But it's
Right.
just the way those people interact with each other. They don't have a problem with it. Like black people don't really have a problem with how we talk to each other. We just have a problem when we have a problem, right?
Right.
You understand what I mean? Like when we feel like it's about us, then now it's a problem. And otherwise, we don't care. Oh, he's just talking until it feels what? Personal. Because our language doesn't have, uh, we use the same words for everything, right? We call each other the N word in an embracing way, but we also can mean it in a very negative way, right?
Yep. It's all in tone.
There you go, right? So language is beyond just the words itself, right? You need understanding and you need to understand the feeling and the tone behind things, right? That's a feeling when you say tone, which invokes an emotion. And that's why our stuff can get so heated at times because we use the same words for everything. And I personally think we need to diverse our words up a little bit and use our language a little bit more separately. Because I find in black relationships, the real issue beyond the dysfunction is how the communication goes. And it gets very insulting when two strong black people in a relationship, right, are upset with one another. The energy, the language, everything. So my goal is to give us coping tools and teach us proper control mechanisms that will give us the opportunity to step out of the situation for a moment so we can remember the godhood in ourselves and remember that it's always a choice. Everything is a choice. You being alive is a choice that you're making, right? You choose to wash yourself, you choose to make money, right? You choose to feed yourself. You can choose to not do that. Not saying that you could just on a drop of a dime choose to do it. I'm saying that the ability is inherently built into the mechanism of man. And when you realize that you're making the choice to deal with something, right? And stop saying what you have to do and start saying what you choose to do. You're going
Correct.
to you're going to interact with that situation a lot differently. See, when you choose to do it, you'll deal with better intention and a better outcome and a better feeling. When you have to do it, it doesn't matter how you feel, does it?
Mm-mm.
Doesn't matter how you feel. So what do we have? A lot of relationships where people are doing stuff because they feel like they have to do it for the relationship, right? Not because they choose to, because that would come with some joy and happiness and willingness to participate. But have to comes with half-assedness, half-heartedness, a little bit of resentment.
I agree. I come from a space of choice when I deal with people.
And it's a well, you see the difference between choice, right? It don't hurt as much. Because without that, it hurt. But you push through it, right? Because you have to do it. I see I'm drilling this have in because a lot what watch how many people gonna tell you what they have to do. I have to pay my bills.
No, you don't. You can choose
No,
not to.
there you go. You could choose to be homeless, right? You could choose that. Tell me you can't though.
No, I don't think so. You choose. I believe everything is a choice.
But not everything is presented as one, right?
I agree
Because
with
it's
that
about
too.
that depends on our what perception of the situation, how we view things, what we've been taught about life, right?
Correct. Or how you grow into life and choose to view it. This has been a interesting live. I hope people are learning and getting something from it. I don't hear you, Talib. Are you still there?
Oh yeah, wait, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here. My connection went out, but we good. And I'm gonna shut up. I feel like I've been running and rambling because this is pretty much all I do. I have invested and dedicated myself to understanding the mind and create and working within systems that actually can create some change that we can tangibly see, experience, and give them tools so you can do it yourself, right? Like I'm a hypnotherapist, and I always tell people that come to me, this is not a do to process. This is a do with process. I'm not doing anything to you. I'm doing something with you. I'm going to work with your subconscious mind while you work with the conscious mind. We're going to work together to give the mind the right suggestions, the ones that stick, right? So that you can go out in this world and do whatever the hell it is that you feel you would like to do. That's it. We don't do none of that magical, mystical. Now, if you want to get into stuff, and another thing is when I say tools, whenever I work with people at the end, I always try to give them something to take home and tell. If sometimes I'll have one session, problem dealt. Sometimes I have to have a couple sessions. But whenever I send people off, I give them a tool. Like I might give them EFT, which is some of the audience who's into that world may know that EFT is emotional freedom tapping. It's where you tap on certain chi points or meridians. And by tapping on them and giving a certain verbal intention, you can release energy and have energy flow through those points more freely, right? And you can look up EFT. Everything I talk about is all look upable. Okay. You're going to find it and you're going to find a plethora of information about it, right? But EFT is similar to what you like say, like acupuncture or acupressure, right? Without needles. You're just lightly tapping on those points. And by tapping on those points, you actually can cause energy to flow. And this has been also scientifically proven because they took these people and hooked them up to EKGs, and they also took samples of their blood before they did the EFT, and they had samples of their blood after the EFT. And they found that after that, people's vessels had beautifully round red blood cells and white blood cells that were flowing through the veins very smoothly. And some of these people before had clots. So before tapping, they had some blood clotting, which comes from some people having sickle cell and other types of vascular diseases. And when they finished, they found that more flow and oxygen was flowing through these areas of the body after one session. I didn't say they magically healed somebody with sickle cell. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that they saw tangible, verifiable proof, and that they was able to recreate multiple times with multiple subjects that it had a actual effect on the body that was causing people to have better blood flow, more oxygen, and various other things. So it's been known to cure people of phobias. I've had people that could not get in the water at all, and they have done EFT, and the next thing you know, they're swimming and jumping off of boats into water, right? And right now, a lot of people try to use it to manifest money and other things like that. I think it works to do that kind of stuff, but I don't believe in the manifesting money the way that they've been teaching it. So I don't really promote it that way. I like to promote it for clear, healthy mind, to increase the blood flow and oxygen in the body, and to remove dark, stagnant energy. That dark, stagnant energy is the energy that causes illness, sickness, diseases, and these things can come from body syndromes. So that's just a little bit of it. You could go on to Beyond the Mind hypnotherapy.com on Google, or pop right up. I'm available. You can go on my calendar and book a date and a time. I do a discovery first, so we could just talk and see if we're a good fit for each other. I'm not here to tell anybody that I can fix everyone. I'm not here to fix anyone. One is, don't come to me if you don't believe in yourself. I'm not here to make you believe in you, right? The people that come to me are people who have tried everything, but they believe in themselves and they know that stuff ain't working. And there's something else out there. And they come to me because they've done their homework and they know this works, right? I can't, and results vary. It's not going to be the same result for everybody because everybody knows how the same subconscious mind. So what I do depends on you. How ready you come to make a change, right? I'm not here to prove you. I'm not going to try to make you get hypnotized. That's not how hypnosis works, right? Hypnosis is not something where sleep and then you just fall asleep. That's not real. That's Hollywood. The truth of hypnosis is you've already been hypnotized. You're in hypnosis right now. Hypnosis is a natural trance-like state in which our subconscious processes are involved while our conscious mind gets to wander. That's hypnosis. And when they say sleep, it doesn't mean sleep. It's just the relationship to relaxation in the mind and the body. See, when you go to sleep, that's when your body is completely relaxed. And when you are in deep sleep, this is when your body is actually healing itself. So when you use this term with a person in hypnosis, they don't actually go to sleep. Their body just falls into a very deep, relaxed state, as if the body was in a state of sleep. And guess what? That's where the body does what? The healing. So you're not asleep. You're very aware. Some people say when they're in, I've had people tell me, bro, I didn't even know I was in hypnosis. I was sitting there wondering when was it going to happen. If you find yourself doing that, then you know you're deep in hypnosis. Right? So I've had people say they felt warm and tingly. Right? Whatever you feel is right. But you will go down into your subconscious mind. I will give you a nice little, I take a little test, a test you can't pass or fail. It just lets me know how you learn, how your right and your left brain takes in information. When I get that understanding, then together with what you've told me and the words that you've given me, we're going to work together, and I'm going to go down and relax you into a way you're going to be right there with me. And don't worry, you might even drift off a little bit. Go, oh, he was talking. Let me get back over there. That's great. You'll know when to come back. But when you experience that and actually just let that mind go and bring in the right things, you're going to come back to me anyway thanking me, because you ain't never felt this relaxed. Not probably since you was a little baby. So it's a game changer. So I'm gonna be quiet and step down. Yo, Peach, I love you. You amazing. You didn't tell me you was going live. You gotta stop doing that, man. I don't know, man.
I go live the same time every Saturday around 12:30.
I would get at Maybach about never telling me he going live, but he know why I won't get at him for that. So, but if he watching and he hear me, I hope you hear me, bro. You don't ever let me know either, man. And then y'all see me in the thing like, what's up? That's how you got to build it up. We got to support each other. Got to get on there, leave a like, press the heart button, jump in that comment, say something, get involved. That's how we build it. That's how the algorithm will know, oh, some people are interested in it. Let me send it to more people.
That is true.
Yeah. So, and I know how to be quiet.
No, I didn't need you to be quiet. I needed you to do exactly what you did today.
Well, I'm always glad to do what I did today. And yeah, I was going to step down and be quiet now. I think it was a great show. I'm glad I caught it. And yeah, I look forward to you guys out there reaching out.
All righty. Well, Talib gave you all the twos. I just got you kicked off and told you about my freaking week. Cause like I said, I didn't understand what in the heck was going on with everyone. um, so I'm hoping if you're listening now or watching later that you can actually learn something from this stream. I know I always learn something from Talib, even in our personal conversations. So I'm very appreciative of him coming up. I'm hoping that he's going to take over the Fridays and stream his show, because that would be great. I think everybody would benefit from that also. But yeah, this is me checking in on a Saturday. Again, check in with me next Saturday between 12 and 12:30. You know, I'm always running behind. I will go live again to give you updates on the check-in. The check-in show will not run this Sunday. It will not run this Sunday. Again, we are revamping some things. I had a lot of meetings this morning with my team, with the radio, with In the Mix Radio and the actual magazine itself, which is the R Report magazine, available at Books A Million stores. I think it's in Barnes and Nobles, couple places. Just check out the THE. You should see it at the bottom, the rreport.mag, or is it? No, it's the rreportmag.com. You can actually go and get one. You'll see my article in the next one. Whatever I decide to write. And again, everything that I do write and place in there, it stems from these live stream shows, your thoughts, your suggestions, what we discuss. And it's just all about everyone just checking in. I mean, I am not a psychiatrist. I'm none of the things. I'm not a hypnotherapist. I'm none of the things. I'm just a regular person that understands that um we carry a lot around. Some of us carry around a lot of trauma and baggage that we're just not releasing, and we may just need to. Or sometimes we have these behaviors that we just let run rampant and we don't rein it in and get it under control. That's being very destructive in our lives, or severing connections that could have been beautiful ones just because we didn't want to check in. So that is the premise of it. Also, stay tuned. I'm so excited as we've been doing these check-ins. I have been receiving a few requests for people to come on and be guests and share their stories and share the modalities that they use to check in with themselves that have actually created businesses. So it's just so much and so many things going on with the check-in. I just have to reorganize, and I'm hoping that I don't have to rebrand too much or whatever, but I hope you find value in everything that I do. Everything for me is about helping people. I am a walking ball of life and love. With that being said, you enjoy your Saturday. If you're having a moment, check in with yourself. If you don't know what to do, kind of rewind some of these episodes. Maybe Talib has the answer. Maybe someone in our audience had the answer for you. But ideally, just check in. Y'all have a great day. Bye.
What's up, y'all? Thank you for checking in with
Lord
Peachy
knows
and
you could have been
T.
anywhere.
We're about to get started.